Hello, everybody. Welcome to Israel's Church of Living God. I'm Brother Rodney, and Brother Caleb will be reading today. Just let me say this real quick. That knob right there, that big one, how much of that? Okay. Okay. All right. So now, Brother Caleb will be reading today. We'll be glad to see everybody come out. And we're going to be doing a lesson today entitled, and nobody get upset about this title that we're about to give, okay? Esau is not the white man. That's the name of the title today. Esau is not the white man, because there's a big thing going on not only amongst the Gentiles, amongst the Edomites, and amongst the Israelites, that Esau is the white man. Now, the Israelites, they say all the Gentiles, which we commonly know as white people, are the Edomites. And I'm like, well, how can that be? You mean Edom went into Europe and absorbed all the people?
Come on, brother.
That don't make sense. So we're going to show you that Esau is not the white man. And that's not derogatory or nothing like that. We're just talking about a family of people, okay? We all come from the same father and the same mother. I think we had that lesson last week, wasn't it? Okay, so now, we got a lot of things to cover, so we're going to start this lesson off, though, in Hebrews, the 11th chapter. Hebrews 11. And I don't want nobody to get offended, because we're not talking about nobody. We're just trying to set the record straight. You know, because you got Gentiles saying that the people that's in Israel are Europeans. They don't have a drop of Hebrew blood in them. I'm like, okay, well then where's Edom at then? Where's Edom? And then you got a guy out, his name was Kessler. He wrote the book called The 13th Tribe. Okay, you telling us who the Jews are not, the one they called you telling them who they not. Well, tell us who the other 12 tribes are then.
That's right, brother.
Why haven't you told us that? But anyway, we picking this up at 11, and Hebrews 11 and 20. Hebrews 11 and 20. Go ahead and read. Because I think it's all, me myself personally, I think it's all a big conspiracy. I'm going to show you why. 11 and 20. Go ahead and read it.
By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come.
Now, he said, by faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. Now, we got to find out who is this Jacob and who is this Esau. So let's go to Genesis, the 25th chapter. Genesis 25. I mean, they get a lot out of this, too. Because they call Esau red and hairy all over. That means that's the Gentile. No, it don't mean that's the Gentile. We had Genesis 25. Genesis 25 and 8. Y'all excuse me if I get a little bit excited today. Y'all excuse me. All right, we had Genesis 25, and we're going to pick it up at verse 8. Genesis 25 and 8. When you get it, go ahead and read that.
Then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his sons, Isaac and Ishmael.
Now look, Ishmael's the oldest son, all right? But they call Isaac first. Why do they call Isaac first? Because he is the son of the promise.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It says, and his sons, Isaac and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephraim, the son of Zoar the Hittite, which is before Mamre.
Now skip down to verse 11, because we're going to hit it and we're going to keep rolling. Verse 11, go ahead and read it.
And it came to pass, after the death of Abraham, that God blessed his son Isaac. And Isaac dwelt by the well Lahairoi.
Now, he says, so Isaac dwelled by the well of Lahairoi. Now, so we're going to show this map real quick. Let's show this map real quick. Now, this is the place in which they were born. Now, this is on the African continent. I want you to know that.
Yes, sir.
But this is the way going into Egypt right here. Okay? So this is on the African continent. It's Beer Lahairoi. So now, This is the place where Jacob and Esau were born. This is the place where Isaac dwelled, right here. Now we're going to read something here. First, but before we read that, let's read on a little bit more. Let's go back to, hold that right there. Let's go back now. Let's go back to Genesis 25. Pick it up at verse 19. Pick it up at verse 19. 25 and 19.
And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Stop right there. Now you see what he said? 2 nations are in that womb. So that means that one, because you know they read prophecy, so one is black and the other one is white. So that's how you got Esau being the white man. Because it's 2 amount of people, 2 different nations. I'm like, well, they both born, still born on the same continent in the same place, right?
Amen.
And they brothers. Go ahead and read them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It says, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bow. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the elder is going to serve the younger. Go ahead and read.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
Now, wait a minute. Now, the first one came out red and hairy all over like a hairy garment. What was his name?
And they called his name Esau.
Now, that's how they get, this is the white man, because he came out red and hairy all over. Because, you know, Gentiles, white people, we don't see that they Gentiles, nothing derogatory, just a family of people, right? You know, when they get upset, they get a little red, right? So that means that then this is the Gentiles right here. They have one brother say, well, you know, babies, when they come out, they're red. But, you know, Esau was called red through the book, though. He wasn't just called red when he was born. So he said he came out red and hairy all over like a hairy garment. Go ahead and read.
The first came out red and hairy all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that, came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Now, so now we want to look at this map one more time here. So now, this is where, no, right here. I know this. This is the place in which they were born right here. So now we're going to read you something right here. I want you to read this right here. This is the place in which they was born. Now look at what the historian is saying right here. Yeah.
Following the death of his mother, Isaac dwelt at Beer-lahai-roi.
Go ahead.
And yes, an oasis on the caravan route to Egypt.
To what?
To Egypt.
To Egypt. What we just saw right there. 'Cause that's the way to Egypt right there. And this Egypt is on what continent? On the African continent, right?
Yes, sir.
So what continent were Jacob and Esau born on then? The African continent. I'm saying that for a reason. Y'all just hang in there with me for a minute. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. It says, it was there that Rebekah, Isaac's bride, was brought to him, riding a camel, and there that their twin sons, Esau and Jacob, were born.
See, so that's where they was born. Everybody understand? And they were born right here in Beer-lahai-roi. And this is on the African continent. Now, let's go to Genesis, the 10th chapter. Genesis 10. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Genesis 10 and 1. Want to adjust your mic there? Go ahead and adjust it.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing. Let's roll.
All right. So now we're at Genesis 10 and 1. Go ahead and read that.
Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah. Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Go ahead.
And to them were sons born after the flood.
To them were sons born after the flood.
The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Mesha, and Tyrus. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah, and the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dudanim. By these was the isles of the Gentiles divided in their land. Every one after his tongue, after their families in their nation.
Now he said, these are the Gentiles right here. Now we're going to find out where these Gentiles, where they were. Because some people trying to act like that Edom was born on the Gentiles, where the Gentiles were, which on the European continent. Let's see that. So now we're going to go to Funk and Wagner's. You got that already? Wait a minute. Uh-oh, I didn't bring it. Okay. That's okay, because we're going to read this right here. We're going to go to the table of nations. We're going to go to the table of nations. Go ahead and read that. Go to the second page, right here. Can you read that?
Gomer, complete.
No. Go to the top. Yeah.
Okay.
Japheth.
Father of the Caucasoid.
Father of who?
The Caucasoid.
The Caucasoids. You know, like Caucasians? So Japheth is the father of the Caucasoids.
Yes, sir.
The Caucasians. Go ahead and read.
The Caucasoid / Indo-Europod, Indo-European,
Indo-Europeans,
Indo-Germanic, or Indo-Aryan races.
Aryan races, which are who?
Japhethites.
Japhethites. So this is what we do, who we are looking at. Now we're going to show you this world map. We're going to show you this world map. Because we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this. So, you know, you might well hold on to your seat because we got a lot of stuff to cover. And y'all got a break on that Japhethites. Go to the next one. World map. No. Okay, now we're looking at the world map right here. So now we got the Europeans up here, right? And Jacob and Esau, which Isaac, were on this continent, the continent of Africa. Everybody see that? The Europeans were on this continent, so they had to go across this body of water to get to Europe. So you got Jacob and Esau, which was born on this continent, and you got Japheth seed, which are the Europeans born on this continent. So now how do you get Esau is a European? How do you get that? So now we're gonna get down into this. We're gonna get deep down into this in a minute. Let's go to Malachi, the first chapter. Malachi, the first chapter. Malachi 1, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Malachi 1 and 1. Everybody got it?
Amen.
Go ahead and read it.
The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
So Esau was Jacob's brother, right? Go ahead and read.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob. And I hated Esau.
He said, you know, because this was one of the brothers tried to show me from New York. I'm like, okay, where does that say that Esau is the Gentile? You're just telling me that he loved Jacob, which is the children of Israel, and he hated Esau. So he said, Jacob I love, but Esau I hated.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Now he said, I love Jacob, but I hated Esau, and these two are brothers, right?
Come on.
Now look at what Esau did. Because we're going to trace him a little bit. The name of the lesson, Esau is not the white man. Okay? So now we're going to Hebrews, the 12th chapter. Let's go to Hebrews 12. And we're going to pick it up at verse 16. Hebrews 12 and 16. Hebrews 12 and 16. Look at what Esau done. Go ahead and read.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Now you see that? You know, you still got people saying that Jacob stole Esau's blessing and his birthright. But right here, we see that Esau sold his birthright, didn't he? And the blessing come with the birthright, don't it? So I wish people would stop that big lie that they've been perpetrating for hundreds of years, that Jacob stole Esau's blessing. Because right here, I don't know why people ain't reading it. It said, lest there is any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Sold his birthright. Verse 17, go ahead.
For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
See, he was rejected. Go ahead and read.
For he found no place of repentance. Though he sought it carefully with tears.
And he sought it with tears because he was crying to his father. Look, bless me, look, Father. Because Jacob came in and got the blessing. But let's go read that. Let's go to Genesis, the 27th chapter. Genesis 27. Genesis 27, and we're going to pick up at verse 1. Genesis 27 and 1. Now we're going to read some more about Jacob and Esau concerning this blessing. And look, he's going to bless Esau too. He's going to bless him. But Jacob is the one, because the book said the elders going to serve the younger, didn't it? And now, this is how the Lord done it. This, you know, this ain't something that they just done on their own. God had to have a way to do this, didn't he? So he used Jacob's mother in order to pull this off. That the elder was going to serve the younger, and the elder one, the younger one was going to get the blessing. Genesis 27 and 1. Genesis 20. See, when God do something, you can't do nothing about it. His word is not going to come back void. Amen. Genesis 27 and 1. But he got to have his man to do it, though, don't he? But he don't come down here himself and do it. So he put it in the manner of a man to do it. Genesis 27, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Genesis 27 and 1. Go ahead and read that.
And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here I am. And he said, Behold now, I am old. I know not the day of my death.
Go ahead.
Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison. And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. So now
Isaac intended on blessing Esau, the oldest son, because it is his birthright. But he sold it though, didn't he? Yeah. Isaac don't know this. He old, his eyes dim, you understand? So he getting ready to give it to the one who we're supposed to go to, right? So he said, go out and make me some savory meat, come on back, and I'm going to bless you, Esau. Go ahead and read.
5. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speaking to Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee.
Now, she said, now she the one doing this, right? But the Lord had her to do this, though. Because the elder is going to serve the younger, right?
Yes, sir.
Skip down to verse 15. Skip down to verse 15.
And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck.
Now look, she disguising Jacob to look and smell or feel like Esau. So Jacob could get the blessing and not Esau. So she disguising him. Go ahead and read.
17. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn.
He said, I'm Esau, your firstborn. Now, Jacob couldn't see at this time, but he knew something was wrong. It sounded like the voice of Jacob. He couldn't see that it wasn't Esau, that it was Jacob, but he heard the voice, though. He's like, man, that's the voice of Jacob, but he feels and smell like Esau. Okay, I guess I'll bless him. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. It says, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly?
See, something strange. How you get back so fast? The mama was listening to everything, right? So she done hooked Jacob up. You gonna get the blessing, Jacob. So now, Isaac's like, well, how'd you get back so fast? Go ahead and read.
And he said, because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near into Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.
See, so the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. Mama, she hooked him up for real, didn't she? Read that verse 23. Go ahead.
And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands.
So remember,
he blessed him.
Esau was red and hairy all over like a hairy garment, right? So he's like, you know what? This voice is the voice of Jacob, but it feels like Esau. Skip down to verse 30. Skip down to verse 30. Go ahead and read.
And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting.
Now he's late now, right? Because Jacob done got the blessing already, so he didn't come in late now. Here you go, father. You're like, what? Keep reading.
31. And he also had made savory meat and brought it into his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou?
Look at that. You see what he said? Who are you? Go ahead and read.
And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said,
he knew he had did something wrong here. But although he didn't do nothing wrong, he didn't bless the right person, I'll just say. He thinking, I'm going to bless Esau. But the Lord had another thing going, right?
That's right, brother.
So they like, who? Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This back at 33, and Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and I have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed.
Ooh, you see what it said? Yea, and he shall be blessed. In other words, that's it. Go ahead and read.
And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry.
But it didn't work though, right? Because we read that earlier. He had a bitter cry, but it didn't help him, did it? He still didn't get the blessing.
Come on.
Go ahead and read.
And said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing.
But he sold his birthright, and with the birthright come the blessing, don't it?
So enough.
Go ahead and read.
And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me this 2 times.
Wait a minute, he has supplanted me this. Esau's the one that tried to do the double crossing, ain't he? He the one trying to do the double crossing and got double crossed. Go ahead and read.
For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing.
See that? And that's what people go on right there. He had taken away my birthright, now he's taking my blessing. But he sold his birthright, did it, for a morsel of bread, didn't he? Go ahead and read though.
And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord.
I have made him thy Lord, because what? The elder is going to serve the younger. Ain't that what the Lord said?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read.
I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
He said, you know what? The blessing has already gone out. What you want me to do? What you want me to do for you now? It's over with. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Go ahead and read.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Stop right there. He said, Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So Esau, you're going to have some wealth. You're going to have the wealth of the earth. Go ahead and read.
And of the dew of the heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother.
He said, I'm going to slay my brother Jacob. But you see who the blessing went to? It went to Jacob, didn't it? But then he turned around, Isaac turned around and blessed Esau too. Gave him the fatness of the earth, didn't he? And the dew of heaven. So he gave the fatness of the earth, so he gave him the wealth of the earth. And believe you me, he still got it today. I mean, I could go on and show you about how the Edomites founded the Federal Reserve. I could go on and show you how they, HBO and Walt Disney and 4 major newspaper magazines, they run into Hollywood. See, that's why I they want to be Jews. But then when they find out what the Lord going to do with them, now they don't want to be Jews no more. This guy Kessler. But he has right now the wealth of the earth. He still got it. I mean, Esau, he has it all. Warner Brothers, you name it. The largest loaning institution in the world, he founded it. HBO. You know, I could go on and on. Did you finish that verse 41? All right, now, let's go now. Let's go to Daniel the second chapter. Daniel 2. Let's go to Daniel, the second chapter. We're going to Daniel 2, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Daniel 2 and 1. Daniel 2 and 1. Everybody got it?
Amen.
Go ahead and read that.
And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep brake from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians, and the astrologers, and the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans, for to show the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king. And the king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. Then spake the Chaldeans to the king of Syriac, O king, live forever. Tell thy servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans.
Now these Chaldeans, these are Gentiles. These are Gentiles. But go ahead and read though, because I want to show you something right here. Go ahead and read.
The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. If ye will not make known unto me the dream, with the interpretation thereof, ye shall be cut in pieces, and your houses shall be made a dung.
Now this is what Nebuchadnezzar telling all his people now, his astrologers, his soothsayers, and all these people. He said, look, if you don't make known what my dream is, I'm going to make your houses dunghill and cut you into pieces. But in the meantime, Daniel is going to give him the interpretation of his dream. Skip down to verse 10. Skip down to verse 10. Go ahead and read that.
10. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asks such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean.
Go ahead.
And it is a rare thing that the king required. And there's none other that can show it before the king, except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh.
Skip down to verse 27. So he's letting them know, no one can show you this dream that you have. Not nobody that's dwelling with flesh. Because this dream right here, man, it's come from the God of Israel. Skip down to verse 27. Skip down to verse 27. Go ahead and read it.
Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king have demanded cannot the wise men and astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king.
Now, they already told him this, didn't they? Now, Daniel, he's telling them too. They can't show you this, king. They can't tell you this dream. Go ahead and read.
But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets.
Go ahead.
And maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days.
Now he's going to let you know what shall be in the latter days, in the end time. Go ahead and read.
Thy dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these.
Skip down to verse 7. Go ahead and read.
Verse what?
37.
Thou, O king, art a king of kings. For the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory.
Go ahead.
And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thy hand.
Wait a minute. Now you see what he made Nebuchadnezzar a world ruler. He made him a world ruler. He never made Esau no world ruler, did he? He never made him no world ruler. Now we're looking at Nebuchadnezzar right here, which is a Gentile or a Caucasian person.
Take it plain.
Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It says, whereas a child, and wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heavens have he given into thy hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold.
Thou art this head of gold.
And after thee shall arise another kingdom, inferior to thee.
Now after you, Nebuchadnezzar, is going to rise another kingdom that's inferior to you. Go ahead and read.
And another third kingdom of brass,
And here go another third kingdom after that one. Go ahead and read.
which shall bear rule over all the earth.
They gonna do what?
Bear rule over all the
He
earth.
never said Esau was gonna bear rule over all the earth, did he?
No, sir.
But they got Esau bear rule over all the earth right now. But he said these Gentiles, they gonna bear rule over all the earth. Go ahead and read.
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron.
Uh-huh.
For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all things.
Uh-huh.
And as iron that breaketh all things shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Now, we're going to show you these kingdoms that he's talking about, because there's 4 of them, right? Let's go now. Let's go to Daniel, the 8th chapter. Let's go to Daniel, the 8th chapter. Y'all just hang with me. Daniel 8, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Daniel 8 and 1. Because Daniel's going to have a vision now. But go ahead and read.
In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at the first.
Go ahead.
And I saw in a vision, and it came to pass when I saw that I was a Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in the vision, and I was by the river of Uliah. Then I lifted up my eyes, and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns.
Go ahead.
And the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other.
Now these 2 horns represent kingdoms right here.
Yes, sir.
But these kingdoms right here ruled at the same time. Go ahead and read.
But one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him. Neither was there.
We're going to show you who this is talking about right here. And you're going to see all of these are Gentiles.
Yes, sir.
Not no Edomites.
Come on.
Go ahead and read.
Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will, and became great. And as I was considering, behold, and he-goat came from the west.
Now here comes the he-goat now. First you had a ram, now you got a he-goat. Because remember, it's 4 kingdoms we're looking for, right? Nebuchadnezzar was one. Then we saw the 2 horns, that represent one. Now he said, here come a he-goat. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It says 5.
And
as I was considering, behold, and he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground.
Go ahead.
And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram.
Now look, the he-goat, he coming close to the ram. He coming close to that ram to do something to him.
Come on, brother.
Go ahead and read.
And he was moved with choler against him. And smote the ram.
And that goat smote the ram. And these goat and this ram represent kingdoms. Go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns.
And broke his 2 horns.
And there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground, and stamped upon him.
When this goat came and beat down his ram, he stamped him. He stomped him down to the ground.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and read.
And there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken.
When he was strong, the great horn was broken.
Yes, sir.
And
for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven.
Now, skip down to verse 15, because we're going to show you what it's talking about now. Verse 15. Go ahead and read it.
And it came to pass, when I, Daniel, had seen the vision, and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between test. And And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Uli, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision.
Now he said, make this man to understand the vision. I don't know what happened there.
Testing, testing, testing.
That's good. Go ahead.
So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, Understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision.
For at the time of the end shall be the vision. Skip down to verse 19. Skip down to verse 19.
And he said, Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed the end shall be.
Go ahead.
The ram which thou sawest have 2 horns, having 2 horns are the kings of Media. The
ram that you saw, the ram that you saw are the kings of who? Media and Persia. So that represents one dynasty right there. The Medes and the Persians. So you had Babylon, then you had the Medes and the Persians, right? So that represents 2 right there. Go ahead and read. Because remember, it's 4. Go ahead.
21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. Now we got 3 kingdoms now, right? Go ahead and read.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it.
Now wait a minute, he said now whereas 4 stood, right?
Yes, sir.
So now we got the 4 kingdoms. Now we're going to show you who that 4, the book don't tell you who that 4th kingdom is. But we got Babylon, we got the Medes and the Persians, and now we got the Greeks, right?
That's right, brother.
What verse you at?
22, the middle.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It says, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
Now look, this fierce, he said, and in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. This that 4th kingdom right here. But he don't give you the name of this kingdom right here, does he? So we're going to show you who this kingdom is, who he is talking about. And it ain't talking about Edom. Because so far we're going to show you that these are all Gentiles right here that we're dealing with. But go ahead and finish that. What verse you at? 23. Read it again. 23. Yeah. 8:23.
Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully.
And he shall destroy wonderfully. Go ahead and read.
And shall prosper in practice. And shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Then he gonna destroy the mighty and the holy people. This last one right here is treacherous. It's terrible. The book just called him a terrible beast. Don't even give you his name. He destroys spiritually and physically.
Amen.
And you know what? He's still destroying spiritually. Right now today. Because what do we mainly hear when we hear the people call themselves Christians? Roman Christianity, don't we? Go ahead and read.
And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Go ahead.
And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes.
Ooh, wait a minute now. He gonna stand up against the prince of princes? This guy right here gonna stand up against the Lord. Go ahead and read.
But he shall be broken without hand.
But he's gonna be broken without hand. Now, let's show you now. We're gonna look up some of Esau's sons. I mean, Japhet's sons right here. So the first one we're gonna look up is Magog. Magog. When you get it, go ahead and read.
Yes, sir. Says Magog, a land of God. Sons were Elkanah, Luo, Faith.
Now you got it highlighted, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Gotcha. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead, do that again. Read that again.
Magog, land of God. In parentheses, it says sons were Elkanah, Luo.
I'll tell you what, go back.
Yeah.
Go back. The first,
Page.
second page, go back.
Yep.
Yeah, read
Japhet.
that, Japhet, yeah. We're gonna read down here though. Read down here. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay. Gomer.
Uh-huh.
It says Gomer complete. It says in parentheses, sons were Ashkenaz.
Now wait a minute, Ashkenaz. Now remember that, because we're gonna hear about him later. Ashkenaz. Go ahead and read.
Ripheth
Uh-huh.
and Togarmah.
Okay, go ahead and turn that page. Now these are all the sons of Japhet. Go ahead.
It says Ostrogoths, Goths,
Uh-huh.
Vandals, Scandinavians.
Uh-huh.
It says Germans,
Uh-huh.
Belgians, Dutch.
Now these are all Gentile people, right? They come from Europe. Go ahead.
Luxembourgers. It says Austrians, Swiss.
Uh-huh.
It says Saxons, Britons.
Okay.
English,
Now, okay,
Irish,
so
Welsh.
everybody got the idea, right? let's read about Javon. We got him marked off too.